Look like the world ain't open back up again. A little bit.
It's like time and time again, I gotta remind myself what state of mind I'm in.
Okay, great. Great movie, by the way. So I will start with, let's start with you. Like, where'd you get the influence for the Jack character?
I guess from a lot of things. I guess one of the main things is just looking back in life about, if you look at a lot of the old TV shows, they had like, you had the dramatic TV shows where the dad like overcoming like pretty much the dad with the big ideas but not nuanced. Then you had the comedies with the, you know, so you had the dad like the Charles Ingalls and the Waltons back in the day. Then you went back and had the comedic dads, which were kind of, they had more nuance, but they didn't really show them actually achieving anything. So I tried to put the two together, like maybe have an epic story, but have nuanced ideas merged with it. So you saw a person who was actually overcoming things, but also show like the mental struggles that was happening in between. So I tried to combine those two things together. I wanted to do I wanted to tell an epic story, but I also wanted to show the struggle behind it beyond the actual, you know, we're trying to overcome this disease, but trying to show like things they were feeling and try to put more feeling into it.
Yeah, I saw there was like a lot of super complex nuances in that piece. And how'd you come up with your characters, Avery?
My movie was inspired by a true crime that actually happened that's very similar to what happened to my character. So I was in a film festival back in 2013 at UCG, and my category was horror. So like I was like looking up a bunch of true crime stories, and that was my inspiration for the film.
I know something about horror. So,
yeah.
So both of you being in the film and directing, where I've done such a thing, and I found that to be really hard because I'm my worst critic as an actor, and sometimes I pick the worst takes going, I think that's the most honest one, when I really should have a producer going, no, that's the worst one, you should do it. So how do you guys have that, how do you guys navigate that problem of like, well, acting versus just telling the story versus, well, whose shining moment is in the scene that you're producing, that you're focusing on at the time?
Well, for me, speaking of being my own worst critic, I was watching your movie and I was like, just blown away by the story.
Speaking of blown away.
Like the cinematography and just the storytelling was really phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was like really blown away. And I was like, that's one of the things, I was like, I could never do a feature because I would never know like how to get those shots done.
Never say never. Never say never.
Yeah, those shots, I was like, I could never figure out those shots. So I was really impressed by that. But for me, I would say that having an editor for this one, since my first one, was really a blessing, because there were a lot of things that I probably would have put in there that probably would have bogged down the story, and you need to have, because you don't have time to put everything in there. So just to clip everything out and make sure the story is as concise and as tight as can be, and to make sure that people understand it, because with the way I had it in the script, the way it is there, I guess looking at the script, it could have been a lot more confusing than the way my editor put it together, and just made sure that people were able to understand the story. Right. So she actually made it so people, like, I knew it was in my mind, but she put it in a way so the world could see it. So I was thankful for that.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
And you?
For me, something that really helped me was I kept like constantly revising, but I also had like a really good producer at the time. But I really kept revising. I kept showing like one of my good friends. He was like, all right, kept revise it again. So for me, it was just constantly like revising the script until like I, come to like the actual script that I wrote. I'm sorry, but I just kept constantly revising the script. Constantly revising it until I like really liked it.
You have to, like I said, you have to be your own worst critic and your editor.
You do.
Yeah, you have to go, well, does this suck and this doesn't? And it's okay for it to suck at first, and then someone maybe point out, well, maybe if you did like this, it'd be better, type of thing. You have to take.
That's what I did constantly through when I was writing and stuff.
You have to take criticism.
You do.
You do, because then if you don't want it to suck.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So any unusual experiences, like aliens coming down to my theater?
Well, Ours was done like right in the middle of the pandemic. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was done in 2021.
No way.
So
I'm sorry. How long did it take you to complete the whole thing?
So we started in January 2021, and just because of the way it was, like, you had the people's availability and the availability of certain buildings, because everybody was closed down at the time. So a lot of times we had to,
Yeah.
you know, some people didn't want to do it because, you know, they didn't want people in their buildings.
Absolutely.
And so it probably took about 4 or 5 months.
Wow. Especially during pandemic times. That's actually quick compared to like.
Yeah, that was just production. For post-production, we're talking about another. I guess I didn't get the final cut until 2022, maybe May of 2022. So we're talking about 14 months total.
Wow. Have both of you have you submitted this to other film festivals and?
No, this is my first time showing this film at a film festival. Because the last film festival I tried to get this film in 2013, it got disqualified because it went over 5 minutes.
Don't you hate that?
Yeah, I did.
You know, it's such stickler for details.
Nothing against film festivals or anything. But, silly rules.
Yeah, right.
So, any experiences shooting this movie? Anything weird?
I wouldn't say anything weird happened, but I did get a lot of good feedback from friends and stuff, and so that was really cool to see.
Do you guys have any other future stuff coming up, or would you like to do anything future?
You can go first.
Well, I do have a podcast episode, so I really focus on my podcast right now.
Oh, plug your podcast. What's your podcast?
It's called No Free Refills. So
Say it again?
No Free Refills.
No free refills.
Yeah. So I just work with different artists, and
Oh, wow.
actors, musicians, poets, politicians, combination of different things.
How long have you been having?
It's just this episode coming up is going to be my third episode for not long.
Okay.
But-
Well,
so
we'll
it's really
definitely plug your podcast. And you?
We have more episodes of this coming out. 20 written, 6 produced. I'm trying to get some more produced. I have another 2 more sitcoms I'm working on. One is a mockumentary based on it's like a sports mockumentary based on a chess team in the 1980s that I'm working on.
Wow.
Another one is about a couple who I guess were planning to divorce but the crash of 2008 happened, so they're trying to figure out how to navigate that. And then I'm working on some things with friends. One is a modern day version of Cheers that we're working on. And we shot 3 episodes down in.
You need Sam Malone?
We do need characters. We shot 3 episodes in Anderson, South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
Last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're working on that. That's in post production.
That's terrific.
So, yeah.
Is your, do you know Jack? Is it available on YouTube or Vimeo?
Well, it's available on YouTube now, and we're trying to work on other distribution methods to get it out there. So 5 episodes are out on YouTube now, and the rest should be coming out soon.
And it's You Know Jack.
You don't know
Jack.
You don't
Excuse
know
me.
Jack,
You don't
yeah.
know Jack. Before we leave, is there anybody who has a question for our filmmakers? Not all at once. We good? I think it was terrific. Thank you. That's what we're looking for. All right, thanks. Thank you so much.
Extraction, baby. Okay.
It's what I do to them. Know me all my life and you still can't get used to them. Show the deuce to them.
Yeah.
And please keep moving. That's what I do to them. Know me all my life and you still can't get used to them. So show the deuce to them. Please keep moving.